guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my very special Fallout 4 week where I interviewed Courtenay Taylor and Kal-El Bogdanove. Did you have like one challenge in particular that really gave you a hard time and you weren't sure how you were going to make the game as awesome as I hope it is? But like, is there anything
I can think of some stuff.
Yeah,
it's like Courtney's dancing, Courtney's singing.
I mean, just the scope of it, right? The complexity of it is daunting.
Oh.
We've all played a game, and you get to a line, and the delivery is just it's a clunker. Right?
Yeah.
It's way off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about it, and you're like, oh, I see. They put the emphasis on that word, but in context, it's super wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm torn out of it. So my goal was to have none of those in our material. I mean, there's it's a huge game. There's like there's like 120,000 lines of dialogue, something ridiculous. So, there's probably bound to be one or two. But our goal was really to minimize that.
Right.
Given the size and scope of it, it's tough.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been possible if we hadn't had the amount of time that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain quests that are super intricate. I won't spoil here, but at the risk of going into specifics, there is a quest that revolves around sorting out who is responsible for a heist that happened like 20 years earlier.
Okay.
And there's a million characters in play.
Oh, no.
And it's possible for any of them to stab any of the others in the back or lie to you, or to you to tell the truth or lie at any time during it. And during the couple days when we were recording that quest, my hair turned gray.
Oh, man.
Because it's like,
I'm stressed out.
All right, wait a minute.
Telling me about it.
We're on the phone with with Bethesda, and we're like, wait a minute, Mark, is he lying right now, or is he telling the truth? And he's like, flip. I think he's telling the truth. Ferret, is he telling the truth? I think he's telling the truth. Let me ask Emil. Emil, is he telling the truth? Yeah, he's telling the truth. It's like it was, and that. So like that was that the level of depth.
Right.
The same thing that makes it fun and cool is also the obstacle.
Right.
It's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
So that would be the big one for me. That I lose sleep over, and. It's a big responsibility. It's a beloved franchise, and we really didn't want to muck it up. And now that we've seen some fan reaction, and it's overwhelmingly positive, like people are connecting with it, and that's a huge weight off my shoulders. Because like if you love Fallout, which I went in loving Fallout, the last thing you want to do is like screw it over somehow. So those are the two obstacles that jump out to me.
Did you have any specific challenges that Fallout 4 brought for you versus any other video game you've worked on or other job you've worked on?
I think a little bit like that self-doubt crept in. Not right away. I mean, there were some lines that I just couldn't get out, and they're the ones that you like wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, no, I know what they meant now. No, hold on, Cal, we have to record this again because now I finally figured it out at 2:00 in the morning. But I think after BE3, I think was when I lost my mind, because I really realized at that point, like, I had been able to go through this in theory knowing that this was a big, but I have been lucky enough in my life to, I am not the first person to have played Ada Wong. Jack was not well received initially by some people. They saw the artwork or I guess maybe the trailer and were like, I hate her. I'm going to shoot her out of the airlock the second I get my hands on her. So like that's why I was kind of like, I've faced a little potential blowback here and there and sort of actually managed to have a pretty nice ride so far. But I think after we went to the Bethesda press conference at E3, I came in the next day and it was a little bit of a mindfuck.
Yeah, we definitely both. It wasn't just you, Brian too, and me. The day after we went to that, we had a session, and we were all kind of like, What are we doing?
Oh no, it was like I was freaking out. Like I was like, dudes, we have to start from the beginning.
Start again?
I need to be re-recorded from the
everything.
get-go because like this is serious.
I mean, I will say this: I never had any doubt about you or Brian and about what you'd done. I knew that stuff was solid gold because you're both very, very good. I felt 100% confident about that from Jump Street. I would second guess our approach sometimes, you know, and think like, boy, you know, I hope we did the right thing by going that small with that thing, you know. Or conversely, I'd say, man, I hope we didn't miss some nuance here just because of how much you have to cover.
Right.
It's almost impossible. You know, you want to be able to take like scene work time, that like 4 adjustments in a day of shooting amount of time with everything, and you just can't. And luckily, these guys have like super fast cognitive processes that you have to have in order to be a good voice actor. Right. And I would prep the hell out of every script, as would all the other. I'm not the only voice director on this project, by the way. It's worth knowing. I'm the lead voice director, but there's a lot of material. It took a lot of other really talented folks. I want to call out Chris Fiella and Phil Bach and Brenda Phillips and Bennett Smitty Smith and anybody else? Who am I forgetting?
C for Cheese Boat, Bennett Smith.
You're right. Cheese Boat. Everybody. Is that everybody? Who all put in as much care as I did. And, you know, I mean, we do our best. We make notes ahead of time, and we try and work the, you know, we try and really work the script. But the thing that scares you, I think, is like, did I miss a piece? And so far, in playing it, I feel like we didn't. We'll have to see. I'm not too deep into the game, but.
So did you feel like that pressure from the very beginning, or
because you knew, like I was kind of like
I
happily like la 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 whatever, like Fallout's gonna be fun, and he had been sitting on it for a lot longer and was also a deep fan of the whole thing. So
yeah, I mean, I sort of very early on in the process, Tim Cubison from Blind Light, all the voice recording for these games is produced by a company called Blind Light. And the folks there are fantastic. And early on, and where credit goes to Mark Lampert for creating this wonderful situation that we enjoyed, a lot of credit also goes to Tim Cubison, who is the producer of all of this. But early on, Tim and I flew to Rockville, and we met with everybody at Bethesda, and like I directed some sessions in front of them, and we talked about the process.
No pressure there.
And
Right?
how much,
can you imagine?
they were like, hang on, Todd's coming down.
You're like,
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm fine. It's just like,
Anybody got a paper bag?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit, I may be exaggerating in the sense, I don't generally suffer from a paucity of confidence. That's not usually my problem. It's, if anything, it's the other way. But I was aware of the investment they were making by doing it this way. And I knew that just good enough was not good enough in light of that. It's expensive to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And they make a lot of money on these games, but they cost a lot of money too. And the fact that they were willing to invest in that dimension, you know, in our capacity of the game, was a big deal. And I knew that it would have implications elsewhere in the industry, and I knew that it would have implications for their sales and all this kind of stuff. So I was aware that they were making an investment in us, and very keen to prove it to be a worthy investment. I'll say that. But I knew we could do it.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. To make sure you don't miss any of the other awesome videos I have in this series, please hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like this video and leave me a comment in the comments below.